Lakers. What are we doing, baby? What is we doing? 110 to 133. The Lakers lose to OKC. So after beating a subpar team, we turn around and we just get blown out again. So the two teams we lost to in this road trip were actually really good teams, the Thunder and the 76ers. Meanwhile, of course, the Lakers are undermanned. We know that. We're not here to make excuses. Of course, the Lakers are going to be better when guys get back. Clearly, especially Vando and Cam. I've been telling you guys this. They're going to be better. I'm not here to dissect the future. I'm here to dissect tonight. So for those of you sensitive people in the chat, just know that I'm breaking down this game and what we can do to improve moving forward rather than try to educate somebody off of, oh, we're not complete or any sort of excuses. All right. Because we got to be real with ourselves. The Lakers are developing horrible, horrible habits that even when we're complete, regardless of whether we make a trade or not, it come back to bite us. These habits are garbage, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, we give up a 14-point lead and we don't play defense tonight. And the rotations were crazy. The lack of proper timeouts being called. I mean, all these things are just things that are going to potentially bother us down the road. We're not trying to repeat last season where we're not satisfied. See, the average fan will tell you that it's okay to make it to the Western Conference and that was such a great achievement and this and that. We want the whole thing, man. We want the whole championship. In order to develop these type of winning habits, this starts early, fam. It starts early and it starts with our work ethic. And right now, we don't have a very good one. Shout out to AD. He showed up, all right, offensively tonight. 31 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. I'll say his stats. He showed up, but he was still a negative 12. And I don't really usually look at the plus minus, but he was still a negative 12. LeBron James was much better in the second half than he was in the first, right? But still wasn't enough because, again, the role players didn't show up. What happened to D-Lo, fam? I told y'all I wanted to see the same D-Lo I saw yesterday, at least a 20-piece. He was short. He had a good first half, second half, non-existent. Well, this is my only concern with him. And I like D-Lo, but my only concern is he going to show up to the big games? Is he going to show up to the dance? Is he going to, because we saw him disappear in the Western Conference Finals. So it's a natural, obvious concern for any Laker fan with some common sense to think, well, is D'Angelo going to disappear any playoff series, right? So we got to question him. Somebody else we got to question. Austin Reeves turning the ball over like a maniac recently. What is going on, bro? This is not the same Austin Reeves. You cannot have 2 turnovers off the bench and limited minutes of play, especially when we're shorthanded. You can't have that. Got to be a lot better off the bench, all right? And not just him. C. Wood, 1 for 6 from the field. What is this shit, Christian? I expected a lot better from you this season. He needs to be a lot better. How can we expect him to be elite if he can't even, the few minutes he gets, he's also become inconsistent. So this is why you're hearing all the trade rumors, and you'll continue to hear them, whether you like it or not. Some people don't like it. That's fine. A lot of sensitive people in the bunch. But trade rumors have always been a part of Los Angeles, especially when role players struggle. Because what happens is when you got AD balling out like he did tonight and like he did yesterday, and all of a sudden the role players start disappearing, guess what people are going to say? Guess what the pundits, the media, everybody's going to say? Oh, let's go upgrade this position, or let's upgrade that position. Let's get LeBron and AD more help. That's clearly what they're going to say. We can't get a legit third option. If it ain't going to be Austin Reeves and D'Lo, who is it going to be? Right? We need we've been looking for that consistent third option since before we traded for Russell Westbrook. We used to have these conversations with Kuzma, KCP, and it was the same issues, right? Well, not everything falls on the players. Some of this bullshit goes on the coaching staff as well, the way they're utilizing players, right? D'Lo and Reeves on the court together has been horrible defensively, right? Horrible. Yet we still seen the combination of both. And last year we got away with it because we had Vando, and he was tremendous. He covered up a lot of blemishes. He covered up a lot of mistakes that backcourt was doing. You see it now. We knew it already. The elite basketball minds already knew that Vando was just such a hole plugger. Like, that's what he does, That's what Vando does, and I presume he's going to do that a lot as well when he comes back. So he's clearly the team is going to improve when he's back tremendously. Same thing with Cam. We missed him tonight. He made a huge difference last night. We missed him tonight. Okay, we know that. That's common sense. But the Lakers still have to be better. No excuses. All right. When other teams, their players go missing, coaches coach. Okay, players play their hardest. Role players step up. That's why you don't hear them in trade rumors. Saw what Reggie Jackson did to the Flippers the other night. He had a 30-piece when his team needed him most. No Jokic, no Jamal Murray, no KCP. God knows who else was missing in that game. And what does Reggie Jackson do? He stepped up. We got a great game yesterday from the role players. D'Angelo, 35, right? 9 assists. Tonight he didn't get there. Moneymaker, appreciate you, bro. You said, honestly, we got beat by an elite team. They're an up-and-coming team. And it is a new era because a lot of these young teams are starting to take over the league. That always happens, right? We saw it years ago with the old Thunder team. When they were young and they took over, eventually eliminated the Lakers in the playoffs. I'm not so much mad about the loss, but it's about the way we losing in these horrible habits. Is what I'm trying to let a lot of people know, because they're just people are just trying to look for something to naysay, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about consistency, efficiency, and effort. Those three things are going to propel you forward. If you really want to become a championship contender, which I still believe we have the capability to do, it's going to be those things. Whether we make a trade or not, the coach got to be a lot better. I mean, it's quite frank, plain and simple, right? But D'Lo wasn't the D'Lo from yesterday, and this is why I keep saying watch out for him, because we don't know what version of D'Lo we're going to get. Just like we don't know on a nightly basis what version of AD we're going to get. Tonight we got good AD, but bad D'Lo, or subpar D'Lo. I wouldn't say bad. We got subpar Reeves with the turnover result that pissed me off. We got, okay LeBron. He wasn't like GOAT LeBron tonight, but he was okay. He got aggressive there in the second half. Prince has been an atrocity from beyond the arc. He's gotten so many three-point shots that he has not made. We need him to step up and make those if he's going to be in the starting lineup. If not, can't be in the starting lineup, especially when the roster gets complete again, right? So what I want to see is this team, when it's complete, that's when you're really going to be able to see who is the odd man out. But right now, you can start kind of seeing glimpses on the way coach is utilizing them, the way he's not utilizing them. It just stinks. Like if you were going to play Castleton and Demoy Hodge, right? I think Demoy would have been a better in this team for floor spacing purposes than my guy Jalen Hood, who I like, but still very raw. And again, he gets to play early on, and that's when the game's over. It's like, we're hearing that. Hey, Maurice, what's up, bro? We're hearing that everybody's coming back soon, but they're not giving us an exact timeline. They just keep saying they're getting closer to return. We heard Mike Trudell on the telecast saying that they're getting closer. They're getting closer. Okay, cool. But we can't just sit there and look at our team and say, need these guys to return like they're going to be saviors. They're going to be part of the solution. But, we had our two superstars tonight. We could have won tonight's game, right? But we did not. Role players let us down. That's just a matter of fact. And it's been like that. It's been alternating. It's either the role players stepping up and sometimes one or both of the stars letting us down, mostly one, AD, or, or it's the role players letting us down and one or two of the star players letting us down. So it kind of flip-flops, and it's been hard to get on the same page. And again, there's 1,001 excuses we can make, but other teams are figuring out ways to win, right? Good teams win versus bad teams. Lakers are a good team, but great teams figure out ways to win even against good teams, okay? So got a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to sugarcoat it. There's plenty of other people that do that already. All right, they'll sugarcoat it for you. Everything's going to be just fine. We don't know that, right? We're not psychics here. We hope and we pray that everything clicks when everybody comes back. But the fact of the matter is we still haven't seen the complete roster and how it's going to gel. It looks really good on paper, but we also thought Reeves was going to have a leap year. And so far early on, it's been a step backwards, right? Whether it's because he's flat-footed or whatever, been a step backwards. We saw D'Lo ball out in preseason. I said, let me see it consistently in the regular season. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but then you get subpar D'Lo tonight, right? So, again, it's all about consistency. And for years, like I said, this is why you hear the rumors of Levine. We wouldn't even hear them bullshit rumors if these players were stepping up on nights like tonight, right? When you need them most. As great as D'Lo was last night, and I get it, it's off of a back-to-back with shorthanded. All of that sounds nice, but you still got to step up, man. You're still a professional, right? And you're still getting paid millions of dollars to do the very best job you have efficiently, right? Consistently. That is how you make your mark in this league. And that's why actually a lot of players are actually journeymen, because they're not consistent. They've always shown flashes of brilliance. Do you think D'Lo gets traded here if he was being consistent in Minnesota? No, right? But another team always takes a flyer, hoping they can unlock the consistent version of said player. That's the way the NBA works. If not, listen, when players reach that consistent level, because D'Lo has all the talent in the world, when they get to that consistent level, they become damn near untouchable, right? Teams don't want to trade them. They look for every way to keep them. And that's where Reeves was last year. He was at a consistent level where you knew you were going to get 14 to 15 points, sometimes even more. You were going to get 7 to 8 assists. You were going to get a couple of charges drawn. This year, we haven't seen that consistently enough. All of a sudden, you're going to start hearing his name get thrown into the trade rumors. And I hate it. I hate it because it happens all the time. But that's when the real pressure starts. Once your name surfaces in trade rumors, that's when you start seeing guys disappear even more. Or they thrive more and they say, get off of me. You know, I'm here to stay. So let's see what version of these players are going to show up throughout these trade rumors, right? Trade rumors aren't bad because it's really like a pre-playoffs, right? And the playoffs, when you play like crap, right? When you play like crap, what happens? Trade him next season. This is that, right? Happened to D'Lo last season in the Western Conference Finals. But when you play good, you earn yourself a paycheck. And not only do you earn yourself a paycheck, but your pedigree as a player gets elevated. That's why Rui got paid for the first time in his career. Reeves got paid because of what they did in the postseason. D'Lo actually took somewhat of a pay cut because he disappeared during the biggest series, right? And a lot of people even blame him for the loss. You can't blame one player for a loss in a series. It's the whole team, right? Even AD struggled at times. So now that I got all that off my chest, the things I'm glad about is that nobody got hurt, hopefully, in this game. That's what I can say. Also, we got to see a little bit of Demoy Hodge-Castleton, some Jalen Hood, and, you know, guys like that. So that's always a plus for them individually. They get an experience under their belt. Cool. But overall, man, it's very disgruntling. It was almost predictable that we were gonna ball out versus Detroit and then do this versus the Thunder. But I also got to give credit to the Thunder. Very young, shifty, up-and-coming team. They got their superstar in Gilius Alexander. He got his 30 points. And, you know, and that's what it is. They're just up and coming. And you cannot sleep on teams like these because they're going to catch you slipping, just like the Rockets did earlier in the season. 34 pistas, right? The Philadelphia 76ers, 44 pistas. And now tonight, double-digit loss again to the Thunder. So these, I've been saying it all year long, these are our Achilles heels. We need to solve young teams in transition that get out and go. We got to figure out how not to get discombobulated and rattled in these situations, you know, full roster or not. We got to just figure it out, right? And that's on the coach partially, but it's also on the players. They got to get better. They got to be better. No excuses, right? Throw all that out the window. But I am happy that we're starting to get healthier, fam. What do you guys think was the biggest issue tonight? I want to know what Laker family thinks, man. At the end of the day, yeah, I speak my truth, and I'm at peace at the end of the night, right? I'm not going to bite my tongue. All right. My guy said, I don't know about you, Dan, but if I'm spending $3.5 billion, I'm controlling everything. I ain't letting another man make decisions on a team I own. They love Mark Cuban, man. I don't like him. He's an asshole, but he's a good basketball mind, right? He's done good things there. He brought a championship there to Dallas. So it makes sense that they want to keep him on the job. It's like, imagine you buy a company, right? But you want to keep the owner, at least for a certain period of time, to on site, and you want to pay him because you want your new business to keep operating as planned. And then if you've ever find a replacement, well, you have the right. It's your team, right? So I have no problem with what they did there. And if it was somebody else other than Mike Cuban, then I'd be like, he robbed them. But nah, this dude is a smart basketball mind. As much as I dislike him, I got to speak facts, bro. Tamika thinks we ran out of gas. You know, the thing is that they played limited minutes last night, right? So we kept everybody under 30. And at the end, like, that's such a poor excuse because we're early in the season. If it was late in the season, I give it to you, Tamika. I would say, yeah, you know what? Maybe they're out of gas. It's off of a back-to-back. We're short-handed on players. But when it comes to the Lakers, it's just we build in bad habits, turning the ball over, not getting back on defense, not communicating, not switching off of screens, not even guarding the paint, to be honest. Nobody, even my guy Christian Wood was horrible today defensively. Like, guys are walking in there getting dunks, giving up second chance points and rebounds. Like, they got this is an internal thing they have to solve, right? And it goes beyond how many players were available tonight. Yeah, does that factor into it? Sure, a little, but we got to be better, period. No more excuses, right? We've been doing this all year, right? We show up against a wonky team, and then we turn around and we lay an egg versus a good team. That's what this was tonight. This was a good team that just caught us slipping, right? And clearly we had the talent to beat them tonight because we went up 14 at one point. We take the foot off the gas, some mishaps here and there with the rotations, the lack of calling of timeouts, and boom, they smack us in the mouth and we don't know what to do with it, right? So again, Lakers just got to be better all the way around. Role players got to step up, man. If not, don't be shocked if a trade does happen, right? It is LA. This is the high golden standard. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't, right? But it's not personal. It's business. At the end of the day. Let's see. Mark says some of these players get the big bag. They get lazy with their game. Ooh, that has been a hot topic right now that a lot of people have been talking about. AD hasn't been the same since he got paid by the Lakers. I heard that topic of conversation. And then now they're talking about it because Reeves got paid, hasn't been the same. Who else got paid? Everybody got paid this summer, and we haven't got the same production. But remember, it is a long season, so there's still a chance these guys can turn it around. Or hopefully they don't wait too long because then they might get thrown in a trade or two. So, they got to perform at all times, or at least be as close to as efficient as possible. It's okay to have a bad game here and there, but back-to-back bad games or only having good games versus weak opponents, or this is not acceptable, right? It's not. Appreciate your search. He said, we all know Grant is the guy that we need. He's a legit 3-and-D guy. Imagine him and Vando. I like Grant, but I think he's overpaid with that contract. I don't know. I'd have to double go check that again. But as much as I like him, like what are we giving up for Grant? What are you giving up for Grant, right? So I like names like that. Of course, he's a good player. You don't want to destroy everything off of that, right? My guy, what's up, bro? Haven't seen you in a minute. How you been, bro? He said, what up, brother? Should we go in hard for DeRozan? Use D'Lo as a make weight? I don't think DeRozan is the answer for me, bro. People have said Caruso, I like him better, but we're really lacking in the rebounding department. Some people said Drummond. I'm not sure if he's the answer. We are lacking a big man that Darvin Ham will trust and start alongside AD because he's really a 4, if we're being quite frank. That's what I think we're lacking. Anything else, it could work. DeRozan is a nice player, but then you got to remember the floor spacing is already pretty bad. We're not knocking down shots. DeRozan is not going to help in that department. You know what I mean? So as much as I like him, I just don't think he's the answer. There's other players. It might be somebody out of left field that we're not even talking about. It might be a minor tweak that happens around the trade deadline. I'm not holding my breath for trades, though, because I like the roster. But remember, we also got to look into the buyout market because we got an open roster slot, right? So, yeah, don't worry about that. But, it is a good topic of conversation. I like these questions. I like these trade questions because one can start imagining how a fit would look on your team, right? That's the whole purpose of these questions. Like, okay, is this the solution? Is this that? So thanks for the question, bro. I like those questions. He said, yep, AD needs a dog next to him to help him rebound, defend for starters, and you add Vando and Reddish, and we off. I think Vando's going to clog up a lot of these holes. I'm telling you right now. We have gaping holes, and Vando he was the glue guy on this team. You could see it. People were telling us we should trade him in the offseason because of the Rui extension. I'm like, you're crazy. Vando's going to be here to stay. Sure enough, we extended him, and I was hyped. We haven't really seen him play at all this season. So when he comes back, let's see if he solves a lot of the issues. After that, if we still having a lot of these giving up second chance rebound and points, turning the ball over, not getting back on defense, we have a lot of those issues that Vando will help solve. Still, lack of effort, stuff like that. Then I think the trade conversations get a lot more serious, right? Right now, it's all take it with a grain of salt, baby. But I like him. I still like him. You can always ask me these questions, man. I'm not gonna, keep my mouth quiet on them. I like it. I missed this one. My guy EP Jeff says, will this team ever be healthy? We hope so, brother. And we hope that around February and March is when we're at full strength, because right before the playoffs, you want to have that camaraderie and you want to go in with some momentum, right? My guy said, get rid of the coach and we will be okay. Listen, bro, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This dude just signed an extension. He's going to be here for at least another 3 years, potentially. He's got to, he would really have to exceed this season and next season in order to really, I think, open up those fireable conversations. Plus, then you have to think there has to be another head coach in mind that the Lakers feel fully sold on if they're going to fire this guy, because you cannot listen. We have not had a stable head coach since Phil Jackson. It's nuts. It's been that many years, fam, and we just can't keep doing it. Wow. He's really trying to sell himself to the Lakers, huh? He said Caruso just hit a fadeaway 3 to 4 OT against the Bucks. He's a big time player, man. That's why we loved him. He was our white boy, man, and he was cold blooded, and we loved him while he was here. If it happens, bro, if he comes back, I'll be stoked. I'm sure everybody else will, but I know he's gonna be a coveted piece, man. I know that for sure. So many things, coach, injuries, and officials. SJ simply turns and gets fouled easily. Agreed. SGA is a beast, dog. He's a beast. Can't even hate on the young talent. Take over Rob job. Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, bro. I'm unexperienced. The last thing the Lakers need is more unexperience to go in and coach the team. Like, if the Lakers hired me, bro, like Genie would be forced to sell just simply because as a head coach, right? Because I don't have head coaching experience. I don't. Teaching these kids on the streets how to play the proper way of basketball is not true coaching experience. So, as much as I'd love the idea of it, oh man, nah, I wouldn't take that job. Everyone calling him spam. Now, bro, that's the listen. From the moment you take that job as a head coach for the Lakers, or even you get traded here as a player, it's different. We love our team. We're hard on our players. You know, we're not here to coddle you. We'll give you credit and praise when you do good, and we will definitely break down your game and or coaching when you do bad. Right? So it's just the way it is. You know, it's not for the softies out here in LA. You know, it's not for the softies. We can't win a title with this roster. I want to say that, bro, because we haven't seen this roster yet, right? How can we say that when we're missing key pieces of this team? Now, a month from now, if we still struggling like this and we have our full team back and we're still struggling, then maybe I'll agree with you. But even then, you got to give them time to gel and then so on and so forth. It might just need a minor tweak. It could be throughout the buyout market. Who knows who gets cut from their team, right? My guy said, LOL. I said the same thing when they told me that. That's funny, man. Great minds, brother. Dan, we need a good assistant coach like Jason Kidd to cover Ham's rookies' mistakes. What do you think? I would love great assistants. I think the best thing the Lakers did was actually surround Frank Vogel with two head coaches. It really covered up a lot of the things that he got exposed on later when they left, right? So, you know, shout out to Jason Kidd and the other head coach. I always forget his name, sadly, even though he's a champion. Hey, LA Mamba, appreciate you, man. Hey, y'all already know we about to drop some heat, fam. So go shop courtkings.com. Check us out for sure. He said, don't get why Lakers didn't get Nick Nurse. He said when he was available, a championship-proven coach who is arguably the best in-game changer. I liked him, and I also like the guy who's coaching the Houston Rockets, man, like Ime Udoka. But we already had a head coach. And it seems, you know what it seems like to me? We've had bad luck with coaches because every time we're under contract, it's when the good ones become available. And the Lakers are a class organization. They're not going to fire you unless there's no coming back and you lose the locker room, right? That's how it's been with the past coaches we fired. They lost the locker room, all of them, including Frank Vogel, right? A championship coach, lost the locker room. Plus his rotations were ass, let's be honest. But overall, man, they're not going to fire you till that is clear. Right. And not only did you lose a locker room, but you're losing games and missing playoffs and stuff. That's what gets you fired here in LA. Hey, Dan, would you trade Vincent for Caruso? Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because even though I like Gabe Vincent and I like what he brings to the table, Caruso is a champion, fam. He's got that in his pedigree. And he's a big-time shot taker and maker and clutch. He's just clutch. And he plays well off of LeBron as well. He knows the system. He embraced the city. He didn't crumble under pressure. And he was just tremendous, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you, man. Appreciate the love, my guy. Monty Williams was another one I liked a lot, but he just lost 16 in a row tonight, so that might be up for debate. But look, they got a really young team with a bunch of hard-headed individuals. If I'm the Pistons, I'm trading guys like that Isaiah kid, like the one who's running around with a bloody mouth. He seems like a hard head who doesn't listen, right? I'm trading him and starting from scratch. You got a good foundation under Cade Cunningham, but you got to surround him around true vets that'll help him grow and become the leader he has the potential to become. Right? Um, I don't see too many veterans over there, and that's usually what happens. And the veteran that they do have, Brogdon Bogdanovich, or whatever his name is, one of the Bogdanoviches. Uh, you know, these veterans are more like scoring leadership type veterans rather than put my arm around you and show you how to become a young man, right? So it's different. It's different, man. Why did we even hire a rookie coach when we are an organization that is win now mode every single season? I think they hired Darvin. He was my second best option at the time. I wanted Mark Jackson, but I think they hired Darvin because he had a lot of promise. He's coming from a good coaching tree. The players liked him. LeBron and everybody gave their stamp on it. And even I liked him at the time. He was my second favorite choice. It hasn't worked out yet. I hope that eventually he turns it around and he makes his mark as a head coach. Because you can tell when somebody's a good coach. They change outcomes of games by calling proper timeouts, by making proper substitution rotations, and by starting the right players combinations. They win games for you. A coach is like somebody who is moving around all the chess pieces. And if you get an idiot up there, he's gonna lose you the game. So we've been somehow figuring that out and winning games in spite of him, and not somehow, obviously, because we got greatness on the team with LeBron, AD, guys like that. But how far can that get you? Because that only got us to the Western Conference Finals last year, all right, which is great. But when it's the Lakers, we want finals or bust every year, and we want championship or bust, really, right? And people hate hearing that because they think we're spoiled and all this and that, but they don't understand. If you've been a long-time Laker fan, you understand. Newbies, they don't get it. They don't understand that the golden standard is up here. We're not just trying to high-five the golden standard. We're trying to exceed it. It is what I don't make the rules, fam. I'm no gatekeeper. I'm just telling you. That's the Laker fan expectations. We pay premium for our tickets. We pay premium for our gear. Shit ain't cheap. We pay premium to watch. So why shouldn't we expect a premium, right? It's like going to a 5-star restaurant and getting McDonald's. Nah, that's not going to be acceptable. Might be acceptable for other fan bases, not for the Lakers, man. I promise you. We got the most dedicated, intelligent, passionate fan base out there, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, fam. You guys are the shit, and you guys are always right. This is why ESPN gets mad and hates on us. This is why all these other networks put you down, right, and call you one of the worst fan bases and obnoxious and this and that, because you're right a lot of the times. A lot of times, you guys have been right. You guys have been saying, we need this, we need that. And when we get it, we win, right? So again, we just got to be patient with this team, see what happens when they, come together and become complete, and then move on from there, right? You know me, I'm a very patient fan right now. I didn't like tonight's game. I hated that shit. Remember the button I talked about? I wish they would have pushed it tonight because they only had one good quarter all game long, right? So one of those other games, they weren't mentally prepared to come out and play. So with all that being said, I still believe in this team, right? We're still ahead of the curve from where we were at last year, right? And even though we've been battling through injuries, we're a plus 500 team. So that's all positives, man. That's all positives. We got to stay as positive as we can, but doesn't mean we don't get to critique players when they give us shitty efforts and no production, right? So there's a nice balance between that. Me too, Craneshaw. Trust me, bro. It's disappointing, but what else can we do? What else can we do? Warriors spanking the Clippers. That's what I like to see, man. This is always a little bit of remedy for after a Laker loss if the Clippers can lose. But you know what feels even better when the Lakers win and the Clippers lose? Feels like the world could end and I wouldn't give a damn right then and there. Like it just feels like everything is right in the world, right? But yeah, shout out to the Warriors tonight. And by the way, the Warriors have been struggling mightily. So the fact that the Warriors whooping on the Clippers tells you everything you need to know about them stinkers, man. I promise. Shy looks to be the next D Wade. Can I be quite frank with you? Dwayne Wade is like one of the best, baddest men on planet Earth that ever played this game. And no disrespect to that Hall of Famer. But I think Shy is going to be better. Or Shea. I need to start learning his true name because he's great. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be better than Dwayne Wade. You heard it here first, right? And I'm talking about individual talent. I'm not talking about how many championships. I'm talking about individual talent. He's already a better shooter. He's already probably a better playmaker. He's not as flashy. He's not as athletic. That's where Wade is going to win every time, right? But like both of them in their prime, which one you take it, right? And I don't think we still seen this kid's prime at all, right? At all. So he's still got a ways to go. And I'm telling you, the Clippers really fucked that up. They messed up that. Whoo! They gave up a future superstar for Pandemic P. Imagine that. Uh, hey, for sure. Anytime you guys go against the Clippers, bro, I'm rooting for y'all. Trust me, I ain't never root for y'all, but y'all going against the Celtics or the Clippers, I'm on that side just for that night. Yep. Y'all remember he was in my scouting report. So I'm telling you, I need one of these scouting jobs from the NBA fan because I've been so correct on a lot of these young talented pieces. I said it. He's lottery level talent in this draft. The only reason people are passing up on him because usually when they draft based off of age. So they think somebody is a little bit older, but they don't learn the lesson. Like guys like Reeves, Kuz, who are a bit older, they make their mark on the league just as much as the young players, right? Sometimes even more. So I don't know why they be passing on these gems, but hey, the Miami Heat came up on that one. They are, bro. It's always stressful to watch for sure. It feels good to vent, but it is. It is stressful, man. Dan, we gotta put you in and ball for the Lakers. Nah, man, that won't never happen. It's a nice pipe dream, but it won't never happen, man. I missed my my gap, my time. They gave up SGA for and a ton of picks. I love it though. Personally, I would have hated SGA if he was a Clipper. I'm glad I don't have to hate this young talented guy. I don't really hate anybody, but I mean hate on them on the court. Like I'm glad, bro, because if he would have been a Clipper, man, I would have been praying for him not to have good games. I'm telling you. If Clay doesn't get paid, he needs to come to the Lakers. I don't want Clay, bro. I'll tell you, we always get the has-beens. And he's not going to take a pay cut. He's all about his money. Now, if he was to take a pay cut, I'm not complaining. If he takes a pay cut and you get one of the best ex-shooters, but he doesn't have it in his tank anymore, bro. He's not the same player he was. So I don't want old players, bro, that have been. They usually don't pan out for the Lakers. Sometimes they do. Shout out to Meta World Peace. But everybody else, man, that came through, like Steve Nash and all these other guys that were older, usually don't pan out that way, right? Double pancakes. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you. So it's my pleasure. Honestly, it is my pleasure to kick it here with y'all after every game, before every game, and sometimes even during the game. So it's always my pleasure, man. You guys are the best. Literally, we've been told by, co-signed by superstars like Pettiest Laker fan, telling y'all you guys are literally the best chat in the game. Now, I will pat myself in the back because I keep it that way by blocking trolls and idiots. But you guys are truly the real deal, man. Been a solid fan since 1999, but I turned off the TV before the third quarter even ends. Didn't want to waste time with trash effort and atrocious coaching. I do not blame you, sir. I do not blame you, my brother. Absolutely not. It is atrocious. Like I said, I wish there was a button they could warn us before games. Agreed, bro. Agree with that. Dan, do you think there's an opportunity to trade for Lonzo on the cheap since he's injured? I'm sure there might be. There might be an opportunity, but again, he's been so injured, man. I'm not sure you're gonna get a shell of him anymore. I pray for him and I hope he comes back healthy because he was balling before the injuries, but his whole career, man, he's been plagued, and his brother has too. LaMelo Ball, I think, is damaged goods as well. Unfortunate. I hate to say that, but every year he starts off good and then boom, here comes something, right? And it's always non-contact stuff. So you got to worry for them, man. They are tremendous basketball talents who just weren't blessed with the best basketball bodies. It looks like. Hopefully I'm wrong and they end up having tremendous careers. I'll love nothing more than to be wrong about them, but this is just what it looks like to me, right? You need a collab with Flight Mike, Dan? Yeah, listen, I collab with anybody who wants to work with me in good gracious and works hard as well, right? Because yeah, man, like I've heard about him. People always tell me about him, and I've checked him out a couple of videos. So he is great at what he does. And if y'all make that happen, like y'all did the Trevor Lane thing, you guys are goated. But the thing about me is I usually I'm so busy, I never ask people to come on. They're usually the ones asking me if they can come on, right? And there's like such a long list of people that want to come on that But for Flight Mike, I will make an exception, man. And definitely, if you guys want him here, go ask him. And if he says yes, man, I'm doing it. You know I'm doing it, bro. I never turn down a good opportunity to work with a basketball mind as intelligent as his. So none but mutual respect there. Why did Ham give up on the game with 4 minutes to go down 18? Because the game was over, my brother. The game was over. Um, and sometimes he doesn't give up till like even way less time, which I concern myself. Um, because you want these players to stay healthy. That's the main reason why, right? Dan, it's more fun watching you than watching the Laker game. That's the ultimate compliment, my brother. I appreciate that. But you know what, man? The Lakers haven't been very fun this year, but I have a gut feeling that's going to change in time, right? Because they usually start off slow, especially these LeBron-led teams. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but every LeBron-led team has started off slow. Eventually, they catch a stride and they reach that next level, right? Let's hope for the best. If they can do that, I'm okay, right? But it's going to take time potentially. Hey, Fonzo, appreciate you, bro. You don't got to do that, man. But hey, appreciate y'all, man. You guys are the real MVPs for real. You guys make a lot of stuff happen. You don't even know, man. I get reached out by people on the daily, bro. And I don't get to comment on everybody, but I get emails, I get messages, I get DMs. Sometimes I got to go through them, make sure they're not spam bots, because get a lot of that. But it's a blessing to have these opportunities, man. It's a blessing. Don't speak that into existence, brother. I'm not trying to go to the can, bro. I'm good. But thank you, man. Thank you for your support regardless. Who's better, Lakers? Powell or AD? Right now, Powell, because he helped us to 2 championships, but we're talking about individual talent. I think AD is better because defensively he's a lot better. Offensively, I gotta go to Powell. He had go-to moves, Sam. Go-to moves in the paint where he was unstoppable at times, right? A little shimmy fake, a little hook shot, a little drop step. Like this dude had go-to moves. And I love Powell. I hate comparing them both because they're different players. Like I said, Powell is more offensive, who can play defense at times, and AD's opposite. He's more defensive, who could play offense at times. That's why we call him coin flip. But I love them both. Different players for that reason, right? And now, if you put them both together, you would have the greatest basketball player of all time. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if you mix the offensive prowess with the defensive prowess, oh my goodness, right? That'd be insane. Why is it that professional athletes in this era can't stay healthy, make millions, and fleece the fans? That's a good question, man. But that's up to sports science. I think if we had that answer, we would prevent a lot of injuries. I turned off the TV in the third myself, too frustrating to stay the course, especially when I knew the outcome. I stay in group chats. People always talking to me at all times, whether it's texts or whether it's on Twitter. So it's what helps me get through these games. If you're by yourself watching these games at home, I can see how that could be tedious and annoying. But honestly, it helps to be involved in communities because it takes away a lot of the stress. You kind of get your mind off of things. You start talking different topics, and it gets you through a whole game of this magnitude of trash. But just our love for the Lakers will get me through all games, right? I never, people have told me, damn, the game is over. Why don't you turn it off and just go live? I'm like, I want to see the garbage time players play. I like to observe every little ounces of the game. I guess I'm different. I'm a basketball maniac, right? So I really am observant and I learn a lot just by watching. Like I was watching Sir Castleton, who, by the way, shout out to him. He's been balling out in the G League. You know, get a couple of minutes here and there. Obviously, Maxwell Lewis, Jalen Hashifino, guys like that. I like to watch that kind of stuff, even though we sucked tonight and it was not enjoyable at all. But it's the little stuff, right? I like that idea. It's pretty dope, man. A lot of stuff is in the works right now, bro. We're gonna hook you guys up when it's time. I'll take Powell over AD all day. Powell had excellent basketball IQ. That is true. That is true. But it's really hard to choose because AD is a transcendent defensive player with some offensive basketball skills. So it's just hard, man. Really hard. Reeves, the white Mamba, he got to play up to that, bro. We can't attach Mamba to Reeves at all the way he's been playing this season. He got to play up to that. That's a huge honor to be bestowed upon him, and he got to earn that. I truly believe Powell was Kobe's favorite. Oh, he was. He said it himself. Favorite teammate of all time. And Sasha was up there too. I remember him and Sasha had back and forth. Sasha was feisty, and Kobe loved feisty basketball players. I'm rewatching some of the early games now. My guy. But all right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for tapping in again. The Lakers fall, but we live to fight another day. You guys know the saying already. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and right now she asleep. So let's keep it that way. But I appreciate y'all again, man. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you already haven't. We're getting really close to 24K, and I cannot wait. Everybody I've shown the song to loves it. 24K by yours truly. DTLF going to drop on every streaming platform. So make sure you guys keep hitting them like buttons because it helps and get out to people who haven't seen the channel yet and haven't subscribed. So appreciate y'all, man. Y'all please have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, by the way, I will not be doing halftime report. I might do pregame still, but I'll be at the game. Shout out to my bro Mook again. For those of you that didn't watch pregame, the Rockets game, man, I will be there on Saturday. So hopefully we can bring home a victory. And I'm very excited for that one. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Peace out.